Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. Today I'm with Colton. Hello, Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about DCA in and DCA out, and how to buy and how to sell in the market if you want to make some money. All right, so for the price of the Bitcoin, it's coming at 22,900 right now. In the last 24 hours, it went up. It was up to about 23,600, and then it dropped back down. It comes back up. I mean, it's going sideways. That's what we've been saying for a while. Some people have said, no, it's going to 28. It might go to 28. It's always possible, but it's tough to go through that 25,000 resistance. It's a very, very strong resistance. Now, if it does manage to pierce and go to 28, there's a very high chance that from 28, we see a major drop. And when I say a major drop, like we've been saying here, probably dropping to about, 14, 15,000. And then go sideways for a while, recuperate, get the market healthy again, and from there have a bull run. That is most likely what's going to happen. And if it doesn't go all the way to 28, or even if it stays around where it is, and for a good period of time, 6 months or whatever, and just going sideways for 6 months, at any rate, it's going to build a solid base, before it needs time and it needs energy to be able to do a bull run. It can't just do a bull run right now. It's not going to happen. And don't be mistaken. Don't buy at 28K. You'll be sorry mistaken. And, do whatever you want. It's not financial advice, but you will definitely see a retracement from 28. Today, we're going to talk about DCAing in. And there's a great tool that we can use, and it's on Binance. So first of all, I have tried a lot of different exchanges out there. I've tried Coinbase, Gemini. I even had an account with Voyager at some point. Well, I still have a little bit of money there left, but we'll see what happened with that. I use KuCoin. I use Gate.io. Those are decent, and they carry some coins that some others do not carry. So that's a cool thing, because they carry a lot of coins. But really my favorite one, hands down, is Binance. It is the best app on the phone. It is best all around. And it has a lot of coins anyway. And it's definitely the safest one because they have gigantic cash reserves. I think they're estimating that their cash reserves are around $60 billion. So for those that don't want to take the money out of the exchange, which usually it's not a good idea to leave your money on an exchange, at least on Binance, that's definitely the least dangerous of them all.
Yeah.
Just to show you something right here, Binance represents, that's a 24-hour volume. They've done $13 billion in volume over 24 hours. In the meantime, Coinbase only does 1.6, about 10 times smaller.
Yeah.
FTX, about 1.6 as well. So also 10 times smaller than Kraken, only $500 million. KuCoin, 900 million. Binance US, which is a separate entity from Binance, but they operate kind of the same. They just don't offer the same tokens, really. But they've done also on their own 405 million. Gate.io, 884 million, and Bitfinex, 246. Really, in volume, hands down, it's Binance. So great platform. Let's look at it. This is something actually fairly new that they released not too long ago. And if you go into the earn section of Binance, you have now something called Auto Invest. That's the perfect tool to DCA. I'm actually using this tool right now, and I'm using it to create different plans, because you can create multiple plans to auto invest. Now, it won't invest in all the available coins. It'll let you only mainly buy all the top coins, pretty much. So you wouldn't be able to create a plan, for, let's say, sorry to say that, but a shit coin. But all the big ones, they're all here. So the cool thing is you create a plan. Let's say that you want to buy some BNB. If you want to concentrate just on BNB or BTC or Ethereum, you can create a plan just for that one. Or you can create a plan that's diversified. So let's say you have 63 coins available and you want to make a mix of those. And we talked about 7 coins the other day that were kind of interesting and to put your money in. So here's what you do. It's very easy. It gives it a create time. You add the coins you want. Let's say you say, I want Ethereum. So I'm adding Ethereum. I want, we had talked about those coins the other day, Matic. And then I want some Cardano. And I want to add some Algorand, XRP. So I confirm this. So now I have all those coins right there. They're all listed and they're waiting for percentage. So I can say, oh yeah, buy me, 30% of Ethereum, 15% of Matic, 15% of ADA, 15% of XRP. And then I didn't make the calculation, but it has to add up to 100%. So now I'm at 95. So I'm going to say, maybe. So here I have built my plan automatically with all the percentages and what I want. Then I can choose the amount. I can say, you're going to invest $100 and maybe I'm doing this daily. Or maybe I'm saying like, no, weekly, you're going to invest $700, or whatever amount you want. And then of course you can choose between USDT or BUSD, depending on which one you use. They're both stable coins, but BUSD is the stable coin from Binance. And the advantage of buying with BUSD, it doesn't charge you trading fees basically. And then you can choose also what time. If you feel like usually Monday at, 10 a.m. your time, is the best time because you see that's when it takes a dip most of the time, but then maybe that's when you want to do it. And if you do it daily, of course, it won't ask you the day because it's every day, but it will tell you at what time. So, and it's based on your local time. It knows your local time based on where you registered with Binance and said you were located. Or you can do it bi-weekly or monthly, and you can choose the date of the month when you want to do it. You're like, hey, I get my paycheck, on most of the time by the 3rd for sure I am paid. It's fully deposited on my account and available. So maybe you're like, yeah, I'll put $1,500 every month and I'm buying monthly. And then you agree. It's telling you when it's going to start, so here, because we're already past the 3rd of the month, it's going to start on the 9th of September. And that's it. You can confirm. And if I click confirm, from now on, it will buy exactly what I have decided. And I don't even have to worry about it anymore. So it's really awesome to DCA on multiple coins, do it fully automatically, respect the percentages that you're buying, because obviously the biggest problem sometimes is those coins are always set at different prices. And it's difficult to keep track, like how much did I buy really of Ethereum? And then let me make a calculation every time. Or this time I want to update the amount. Because you can go back if you have a portfolio that's running an auto invest plan, you can go and update and change the amount, which means that suddenly you're like investing $1,000 and now you say, no, bump it up to 1,500 because I have a little bit more money available. Maybe I get a raise, whatever. And you update that amount. If you were doing it manually, you would have to redo, all the calculations. Well, how much is that in Ethereum? How much is that, and plus price varies all the time. So you have to calculate different things. Here you have nothing to calculate. It's all built in. It's very easy to use and it's working like clockwork. I've been using it for about 2 weeks now, a little bit under 2 weeks. And I'm buying daily right now. Small amount, but I'm buying daily and it's working perfectly. And I see the number of coins, growing, and it's applying exactly the portfolio that I told him to do. So to DCA in That's really a great tool. I highly, highly recommend. I know there are just a few other sites that have that, but not too many. And most of the time, they have it only per coin. So you can tell the system like, hey, invest X amount of money per week on that coin. But then if there is a variation or whatever, it doesn't apply the same thing here. The cool thing is it creates that portfolio with an investment plan, and depending on the variation of the prices, it's applying the percentages of the money that you want to apply. So this is really ideal. So great tool from Binance to DCA in. Any question on this, Colton?
From my side, Boris, I guess people are going to want to know, is there any fee? Is this an add-on to your, plan that you have with Binance at the end of the day?
No, I mean, this is totally free. And when you use USDT, they will charge you the regular charge on for Binance. It's like 0.1%. But if you trade with BUSD, usually there is no fee.
Okay.
There are no fees. So no exchange fees.
That makes sense.
So that's the cool thing. It's super easy to use. When you get a Binance account, and for those who live in the US, you can get Binance.us. I believe the main difference between the two is just the coins that are offered. Obviously I'm on Binance because I live in Gibraltar, so we don't have that problem here. So I can buy XRP, no problem. You can't, unfortunately, on Binance.us. But Binance.us really has most of the same features, and it's just some of the coins that they offer are different because of US regulations.
Now, in terms of, creating this, I guess it's not a page, but, creating this plan that you have, Boris, can you manipulate it at any time? Can you go in there and edit it, or, do you need to?
Yes, exactly. You can, whenever you want, you can go stop it. You can pause it. So for instance, if today, like my plan, kicks in, let's say at 5 in the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Well, if right now, it's basically like, 2:45. So I can go pause it, and at 5, nothing will happen. If I leave it paused, tomorrow it won't do anything either. And if I unpause on, let's say, Saturday, and I unpause before 5, at 5 on Saturday, it'll buy again.
Okay, that's okay.
So very easy. So you can modify the amount, you can change the percentages, you can pause the plan, you can delete the plan. Very, very, very user-friendly. I mean, it's really a tool to help you create a plan and allow you to stick to it, because that is really the biggest problem people have, whether getting DCAing in or DCAing out, which we're going to talk in a minute about, is really that they don't have a strategy. Or they have a strategy, but they don't stick to it. They're like, oh man, I meant to buy this, I meant to buy that, I should have DCA in all those weeks, all those months, and I didn't do it because I get too busy and I don't have time to remember to get in every day and DCAing every day or DCAing every week or every month. I just don't have the time to think about it. What this does it for you, and no thinking to do about it. All right, so let's talk now about DCA out. That's the other thing. Now, unfortunately, they don't have a tool in, at least not that I'm aware of, on Binance to do a DCA out. Hopefully, maybe they'll add one at some point. And that is really another reason why people have a hard time making money in cryptocurrencies. They usually buy, and I think more and more people are getting used to DCAing in. But on the DCA out, the biggest problem is they don't have a strategy. So if they say, okay, I'm buying, let's say, Bitcoin right now, and it's at almost 22,900, but when do I sell? Well, you need a strategy. I mean, obviously, to me, a good strategy would be that if we reach close to all-time high again, you might want to start dropping portion of your portfolio, like probably at 60,000 might be a good idea to sell like 5%.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do is once you pass the all-time high, how much higher do you think it's going to go? And at least try to recoup what you have put in, because exactly like a blackjack player and a good blackjack player, they usually do the following. They play with money for a little while. They try to win some. And once they have made enough money to play with, maybe they arrive with $500 was the initial investment. Once they reach 1,000, they take the $500, which is the original investment they put in on the table, they put it in their pocket, and they're like, okay, now I'm playing with house money.
Yep.
So you should apply kind of the same thinking with cryptocurrencies, meaning that if you put in, let's say you've bought 2 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
So you've spent roughly $46,000. If you bought them, let's say around today's price. Once we reach 60,000, well, you don't have to sell a whole one to get your original investment out. You would sell roughly 1.2, you would sell 0.8 Bitcoin, to get your original investment back. So that 46 grand is back in your pocket. Now you're left with 1.2 Bitcoin that is virtually free money at this point. That's the money you made. So after that, you want to start DCAing out as the price goes up. So if the price goes up to 80K, maybe you sell 10% of that. So roughly 0.12 Bitcoin. So you're still left with 1.08 Bitcoin. So you still have more than a whole Bitcoin. And then you reach 90,000 or 100K. You're like, now I'm selling another 10%. So at this point, you've sold, you're slightly under a Bitcoin. And as it goes up, you sell more and more. But you need to address these numbers in advance. And possibly you could put some orders. That's maybe the best way to do it, is to already fill in some orders so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to monitor the market, etc., etc. And so the advantage is, let's say that on the next bull run, it goes to 150,000. And then it runs out of steam and it drops back down, etc., etc., and a new cycle restarts. At least your original investment, safe. Profit taken. So now you have a lot more money. If you go from let's say 150 down, it goes back down to maybe 40 or 50. Mm-hmm. That may be the new low in eventually in the next bull run or the next bear market. But now you have a bunch of money that you have made that you can rebuy some more to eventually take the next bull run that takes you to maybe 250K. But you need to have that strategy, and you need to have it in advance. You need to have some of those orders already placed in so you don't miss out. Because what happens very typically is people say, as soon as it hits 60, I'm going to sell 10% of my position. 60 happens, they're like, well, let's see, maybe I'll go to 65. I'll make it an extra little 5,000. And then a whole bunch of people are screaming like, oh, it's going to 100. It's going to 100 for sure. 100 next month for sure. And you're like, well, I don't want to miss out on some money. So suddenly you don't apply your strategy anymore. It goes to 90. You're still not selling. And then it crashes back down to maybe 30K.
Yeah.
And you saw a ton of money on your account, and you see that thing melting like ice under the sun. And you're like, why didn't I not apply my strategy? Why did I deviate from the strategy? It makes no sense. You definitely want to have a strategy on DCAing out. That's really the message I want people to have. And the one way that you can do it is you go in advance to your account, and you start placing some trades. You know, you're like, hey, let me already placing a trade where I'm selling, you know, X amount of, I'm going to say that I want to sell at 60K. So I'll put $60,000 and I'm selling, you know, zero point 0.1, you know, BTC. And you already placed that order. When it hits 60, you don't have to think about it. The order is already in and it's going to do it for you. So that's it. That was the idea on how to DCA in on automatic and also DCA out on semi-automatic.
I just think it's, you know, important for people to understand, you know, take a profit at the end of the day, like Boris said. You know, I made the mistake, you know, using Voyager, not taking a profit when I should have. My money is locked up. Now from that, you know, I lost the profit and my money's locked up that I have left in there. So, you know, take the profit, you know, don't get too greedy. Me and Boris talked about this yesterday. You know, diamond hands really don't, you know, is not a real thing at the end of the day. You look at BlackBerry. BlackBerry was the leader in the market. Apple's now the leader in the market. You look at, you know, a couple of years ago, Yahoo was the leader for internet. Google's now the leader. You know, it's always changing. It's always evolving. You know, you go look at my time, it was MySpace. Now it's Facebook, or it was Facebook. Now it's Twitter. You know, you got Snapchat, Instagram. There's always something new out there. So, you know, take the profit. Don't get greedy. Don't believe in diamond hands, and, you know, just take the profit and move on. But other than that, Boris, that's it from my side for today.
Yeah, and you're right, Colton, because really the biggest problem is those new projects come around. A few years ago, no one knew about Cardano, no one knew about Polkadot or Avalanche or Cosmos or any of those great projects. And if you have diamond hands, the problem, and you never take any profit, when some of those great projects come around, you have no money to invest in them.
Yeah.
So it's really a shame. And like you said, I don't think the diamond hands of guys holding BlackBerry stock are pretty happy right now. They wish they had been able to sell some of that stock and buy Apple while it was still affordable and cheap. And the same with Tesla. You know, if you were diamond hands on Ford, you'd have probably liked to take some profits and use some of that money to put in Tesla. So don't use, you know, diamond hands. To me, it makes sense when you're in a bear market, like right now. Yes, have diamond hands. Don't necessarily sell at 22 because the downside is not very big. It could lose more, definitely, but it's not going to be huge. The upside is much bigger. So you can have diamond hands at that time, you know, during a bear market. But diamond hands forever makes no sense. It is not a viable solution. All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Colton. We look forward to see you on the next Kryptonite video. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.